Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Mimi Bright, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this lovely palazzo trouser, or you can call it a wide-legged pants. Well, this trouser you see here can be worn with a tank top, it can be worn with a bustier, it can be worn with a sleeveless top, it can be worn with a shirt. You can actually wear it going out with friends, on a date, or maybe you have an interview or something. You can wear it out. Well, if you want to see the pattern for this trouser, please check out my other video on how to make a straight-legged pants. Well, without further ado, let's get back to the video. And as well guys, if you like my video, please give me a thumbs up, like, share and subscribe to my channel. So guys, I have my trouser. This is the back part of my trouser. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to flip it inside out. Okay, I'm going to flip it inside out like so. Now right side facing right side, like the right side here facing the right side, like so. Now we're going to go ahead and sew up this area. Now for my front, the next thing I'm going to do is face it right side to right side, like so. When you face it right side to right side, as you can see, I went ahead and added 1.5 inch for my zipper fly. I already added it here. So the next thing I'm going to do is this is the two sides, you join it together like so, and then I'm going to just go ahead and sew up this side. Just sew up 1/2 inch from this side. Okay, do not sew this place because this place is for the zip, so leave this side alone. Just go ahead and sew up 1/2 inch here. So guys, once I'm done sewing up this side, once I'm done sewing it up, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and sew in my darts. I already have my notch here, so go ahead and sew in your darts for the front pattern and for the back. Sew in your darts for the front trouser and at the back as well. So I'm going to take this to my sewing machine and then go ahead and put in my darts. So guys, the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to be putting in my pocket. I have my pocket attachment here. Make sure you cut out this 2 times. This is how I cut my own out, and I folded it because it's going to be folded and attached like so. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to measure out 6 inches downwards. So I measure out 6 inches and make a mark. Now wherever your waist stops, your seam allowance, this is where my waist stopped, and I have like 2.5 inches seam allowance. Okay, now I'm just going to make a mark for that 2.5 inches here. Now do the same thing, you know, at that 6 inches. So at that 6 inches, I'm going to do a get my 2.5 inches like so. So this is what I have. Now I'm going to use my ruler and connect it. I'm using a white chalk though. I know you guys can't see it, so connect it all the way to the waist. And in that 6 inches as well, connect it. Now I'm going to use my scissors and I'm going to cut this out. You're going to be cutting it out. So mind you, I'm cutting out both the front. I'm cutting out the two sides. So cut it all out together. Now this is what I have. After cutting it out, I'm going to go ahead and you see, as you guys can see, I cut out both the two sides of my pants. Now I'm going to be working with just one part of the trouser. So just open it up like so. Open it up. Now I'm going to be working with just one side. So guys, the next thing I'm going to do is you get your pocket attachment like so. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut it. You see how this one is? I'm just going to go ahead and cut it as well like so, because you're just cutting this like, you know, it's supposed to be folded like this. So I unfold it. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut out this part. So after cutting it out, so when you close it like so, it will come out here, as you can see. So just unfold. Okay, now go ahead and unfold it. Okay, like this. Now I'm going to go ahead and trace this out. So using my chalk, I'm just going to trace it out to indicate where I'm cutting off. This is to indicate where I'm going to be cutting out. So make sure that everything is properly aligned. So make sure everything is properly aligned. Now go ahead and cut it out. So using my, mind you, this my pocket attachment is actually 9 inches long. It's 9 inches long, and see the width is 16 inches long. Like, so here is 9 inches long and here is 16 inches wide. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. Now this is what I have. Okay, mind you, the right side is supposed to be facing the wrong side is supposed to be facing the wrong side. So I'm going to go ahead now. So I'm going to go ahead and sew it half an inch down. Okay, sew it all down. And after sewing it down, I'm going to flip it like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and sew up this side. So let me take this to the sewing machine and show you guys what I'm doing. So guys, this is what I have once I'm done. I know it looks like a lot, but it doesn't matter because all this will be going off. What I mean by it's going to be going off is because this is the sewing allowance. Okay, now by the time I sew it off, I'm going to be cutting off all this excess here, so we don't really need it. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and sew in my zip. That's the next thing I'm going to do at the moment. So as you can see, I already put in my 2 inches similar. I already went ahead and put in 2 inches for my zipper fly, because I'm going to be, this is how I'm going to be sewing it. Okay, I mean, by the time you're going to be sewing in your zipper fly, sewing in your zip, it's going to be looking like this. So to put in my zip, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring out, I used 2 inches for my zipper fly, for my zipper fly extension. Like, I added my zipper fly to the main fabric, so what I used was 2 inches. So I'm just going to make 2 inches mark here, and then you see this zip, I am going to be flipping the teeth, like the teeth will be facing in here, okay, like the way it is, like so. I'm going to go ahead and pin here down. So after you're done pinning it down, you're going to go ahead and sew it up. You're going to go ahead and sew it up so that when you're done sewing it up, it's going to be looking like this, okay. And then you're going to do the same thing, and after doing it here, you see that the zipper fly will overlap. So anyway, let me just go ahead and sew up this part, and then I'll bring it so that you guys can see how it looks like, and then I'll go ahead and do the other side. So guys, this is what I have after sewing down that side of the zipper. Now I'm going to go ahead and do this other side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all pin this down, like the place I notched. I'm going to go ahead and pin it down. So once I'm done pinning it down, this is what it's going to look like, okay. Now I'm just going to go ahead and use my, like, once you're done pinning it down, I'm just going to go ahead and push it. I'm going to do like a little push. I'm going to do like a little push, okay, to create that zipper fly so it can cover the zip. Just because if you don't give it that push, it's just going to be looking like this, and the zipper teeth is going to be showing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a small push, like so, okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and give it that curve and sew on top. Go ahead and sew it on top like this. So I'm going to take this to my sewing machine and sew it down, and then I'll bring it so that you guys can see how it looks like. So guys, this is what I have once I am done with my zipper fly. So I'm supposed to go ahead and iron this, but there's no electricity at the moment, so I have to do with what I have. So now, as you can see, I'm going to go ahead and start joining my front piece to my back piece. Like I said, don't pay attention to all these S's here because it will be cut off, okay. This is just a seam allowance. This 2.5 inches is a seam allowance that's going to be gone. So I'm going to go ahead and get my back piece. This is my back piece, so I'm going to go ahead now and sew it all down, starting from this point, okay. Starting from this point, I'm going to sew it all down because these are all my seam allowance. So just go ahead and pin the sides, go ahead and pin the front side to the back side. So while I'm doing it, I'm going to be measuring it out, making sure that it's 2.5 inches, and pin it down because that's my excess. So this is what I have after pinning it down. I only pin down one side, so when I flip it, you can see this is how the pocket side will be looking like. You see, all this excess that I have here is all gone. So this is how the pocket, let me show you guys the difference. So this is the difference. This is the side that I pinned down. So you see the pocket is looking really good. And this is the side that I haven't pinned down. And the pocket is not looking all that good. Okay, so you can see it's still looking like that. But here it's looking perfect. So now I'm just going to go ahead, pin everything all down and sew it all up. And then I'll come and show you guys how it looks like. So guys, I'm done sewing down everything, and this is what I have. As you can see, the pocket is looking good. Go ahead and give it a good press. Okay, so as you can see, the pocket is really looking good. This is how my pants is looking like. Just so you know, I haven't ironed it yet, so I'm actually meant to iron this, but we don't have electricity at the moment, so I'm just doing what I can. So now what I'm going to go ahead to do is to put in my waistband, and I have it here. I have my waistband and I have two here because the reason why I have two is that the fabric wasn't enough, so I'm going to be joining it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and sew here down, and sew it all the way. Sew it all the way to the end, and then I'm going to flip it. All right. So guys, the next thing I'm going to do is to sew in my waistband. As you can see, I already have my waistband all done. All right, because once I'm done, it's going to be looking like this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave half an inch here. Okay, leave half an inch here because I'm going to be sewing it down for my seam allowance. So I'm going to start from here, and I'm going to go ahead and sew it all down. Starting from here, half an inch from here. Then you're going to sew it all down and sew it all around. Okay, so let's take this to our sewing machine and sew it down. So guys, once you're done, okay, once you're done sewing it down, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to flip it. Okay, see what I have now? I'm going to flip it. Remember I said you should leave half an inch here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sew down that half an inch, and then I'm going to stop here, like leave half an inch here as well, because you're going to be folding. When you get here, you're going to be folding in by half an inch. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to sew it down and stop here. Stop half an inch all the way down. Like, don't sew it all the way down. Stop. I don't even know how to explain it. Just stop half an inch away. So what I'm going to do now is I'll take this to my sewing machine and sew down that half an inch that I left.